Becoming and maintaining your sanity as a teacher is no easy feat. And today I'm going to share one of my hard memories, but that was actually the inspiration for me becoming a teacher and how I managed to persevere through a career that's lasted me 2 decades. Yeah. And I do this because I'm sharing this because quotes and affirmations are a great tool for helping people to shift their mindsets. So today, the inspirational story that I'm sharing is focusing on perseverance. So let's jump into this case as we do every day over the last 10 days with our quote. Here we go. Never quit because quitters never win. Now, I can't take credit for those amazing wise words. They're actually coming from Karis Lovechild. But here are three things I want you to remember. Number one, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Number two, working for it helps you to treasure it a little. And number three, winning only has to meet your definition. You define what winning is. My name is Maya D, and I'm a storyteller by trade. I do it through dance, and in more recent times, I've been doing it through writing. About 4 years ago, I was going through some wonderful transitions, and I began collecting notes from wise women in my local community and in the greater world, and using them as guidance to help get me through the day. And I started to notice this wonderful thing while while I was journaling because I, for whatever reason, decided to start pairing those quotes with affirmations. So as I'm journaling, I began to notice that the what I wrote about in the journals were aligning with the affirmations. So essentially, the affirmations were demonstrations of things that I experienced in life. Does that make sense? Makes sense in my head. Let that settle for a second. So I was like, oh wow, like this is kind of amazing. And I wonder if other people could benefit from the same kind of thing, these quotes, these affirmations, and seeing how these things manifest in their life. So I took the journal entries and I published a blog of all of those things, taking out some of the gritty details because like you don't need to know everything about everybody's life. But I wanted to share some of those experiences and some of those stories with you here because I also understand that while some of us love to read, some of us also love to hear a story. So we're jumping into story time. Feel free to go ahead and get cozy or leave this video playing while you complete some other activity. This one's going to go a little faster than some other days because my daughter's on her way here and I should be getting dressed so that we can head to rehearsal. But it's okay. We're going to enjoy this quick story time and feel free to ask questions as things come up for you because I am thinking of sharing is caring. And as I share my experiences, maybe it sparks something in you. And through that, you share something, and then I share something, or maybe somebody else in the community that's watching shares something, and we all grow to be better people. So here we go. 1991 was a place I marked on my timeline. The professor of my leadership course asked us to draw a timeline of our lives and highlight 5 dates on that timeline. We were then asked to describe the significance of those events and pick one that was most significant in our life. In 1991, a 9-year-old version of me learned that some people will never see you as a person, that these people will never value your thoughts, your experiences, your life, and they will use that to justify attacking you. That's how my childhood mind digested the Rodney King verdict. A part of me became silent because of that verdict. And at the same time, I also feel like it ignited my desire to be an educator. I needed to teach others how to respectfully communicate their fears, their thoughts, their dreams, and their desires in order to give others less reason to silence their voices. Number one, if it was easy, everyone would do it. If I were to borrow from science, when we look at an ecosystem, every organism has a function to carry out, and not every function can be carried out by every organism. A human cannot offer trees oxygen, and a lobster cannot effectively pollinate plants to grow on land. Each organism has been created and evolved in a way that makes them an ideal candidate for their contribution, the contribution that they offer to that ecosystem. Teaching is my calling. It's what I offer to the ecosystem. And it is informed by that 1991 experience. In my soul, it feels like the perfect way to contribute to my community and to society. I am not sure that every person makes a good teacher. And in the United States of America, where I live, it doesn't pay as well as some other professions, which is interesting. We'll get into that on another time. Number two, working for it helps you to treasure it. There are challenges in becoming an educator. And let's remember that it's only after challenges that we actually appreciate some of the rewards. I have to share, I've had my share of nasty emails, of phone calls, of frowned eyebrows, but I'm clear that I was made for this and I can handle it. Think about it. Honey wouldn't taste that sweet if you ate it every day, all day. But after the taste of bitters, the sweetness of the honey really rings out. I didn't shake the president's hand at my graduation, and I actually blame it on my own ignorance. Ignorance meaning like not knowing. After the ceremony, I realized my college graduation was the first college graduation I'd ever attended. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. My last name begins with an A, and my physical stature just under 5'6". So, needless to say, I'm literally not able to see. I wasn't able to see what was going on in front of me. I could only see that person that was right there. And while I'm sad that I did not get the chance to shake the hand of Dr. Hrabowski during my diploma, when I got my diploma and teaching certificate, these treasures are both things I hold really dear to my heart, especially since there was a 10-year gap between my high school graduation and my undergraduate graduation that was filled with pregnancies, tears, prayers, sleepless nights, tears, arguments, disappointment, and tears, asking for help, tears, and more work. But you know what? On just about any given day, you can hear me yelling, singing, dancing, shouting, I love my job. Really. Number three, winning only has to meet your definition. Okay, so I said just about any day, but really it's more like probably about 80% of the time you can hear me yelling something along those lines because the other percent is work. And by work, I mean picking myself up off the floor, telling myself that I can actually do this, and wondering why I continue to do this when it doesn't pay as much as other careers. But it's okay. Thank goodness for journals that I can go back to and see and even count my blissful moments. Sure, I've mentioned this before. Avid journaler. Recently, after watching the Welcome to Our Class video that I offer my students, a student emailed me to say they could genuinely feel that I valued their opinion and experience. More tears, but this time tears of joy. I cried tears of joy because sometimes the only way out is through. And this one message comforted that 9-year-old me who felt that they'd never be heard and never valued. I'm winning because I'm happy with my career more than 70% of the time. That's a win for me. And I'm able to offer that which I felt I would be denied. My goal facilitates the growth of healthy, compassionate, productive human beings. I tell myself that every time I see and feel a student or student sees that they are being listened to and valued, I'm encouraging them to be a better listener and to stand up for someone else. You do the thing that you were chosen to do because it is part of your destiny and because it's part of your path. Your destiny, your path, your role is only for you. And in the words of the wonderfully wise Karis Lovechild, never quit. That's why quitters never win. It's a simple thing. Here's what you need to remember. Number one, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Number two, working for it helps you to treasure it. And number three, winning only has to meet your definition. So here's my question, because this is about that like dialogue and that exchange. What's your calling? What do you feel like is your calling to do within society, within your community? And how do you continue to persevere? How do you continue to pick yourself up, start that new day, keep it going, and so forth? Um, I mentioned journaling is one of the things that helps me with perseverance, because I can go back to those journals and see, like literally see times that were good because I wrote it down. But that also means that journaling is a part of my routine practice, my consistency, my daily practice. Um, Actually, I mentioned how I was collecting those quotes and how I began to pair them with affirmations, and I started a blog. And then the next iteration of this service, this sharing of stories and inspiration and motivation, were designing of guided journals. So here's what I'm going to say. Today is 11 of 30 because I'm a deep believer in pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone to grow. So I've been sharing these stories with you. Today is 11. I'm going all the way up to 30. And because I feel like sharing is caring, and if we have something to offer, that we want to offer it. If you take a look in the details, you'll see a link to some affirmations. It's a free download, so please make use of that. I also would love to invite you to like, share, subscribe, turn on those alerts so that you are here for the next video. And have a blessed day. See you soon. Take care.